Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Boynton Beach Gold Coast Band's concert performance of Out of This World. My name is Ginny Marsh, and I'm honored to be your narrator. Please welcome our talented artistic director and conductor, Barbara Rubenstein. As this horrific war, music is a language that goes beyond words and can express hopes, prayers, and connect us to others, and let them know they are supported and not alone. As this horrific war of oppression continues in the country of Ukraine, we join other musical organizations around the world in showing our compassion for the suffering people and the senseless loss of life. Over the past year, you may have heard the Ukrainian national anthem, but you may not be familiar with the English translation of the lyrics. Here they are. The glory of freedom. Luck will still smile on us, brother, Ukrainians. Our enemies will die as the dew in the sunshine, and we too, brothers, will live happily in our land. We will not spare either our souls or bodies to get freedom, and will prove that we, brothers, are of Cossack kin. Please rise as we pay tribute to Ukraine, and then please singing our national anthem, the Spangled Banner. 1968, Stanley Kubrick produced the science fiction film 2001: A Space Odyssey. At the time, it was noted for its scientifically accurate depiction of spaceflight. He chose the title as a tribute to Homer's poem, The Odyssey. And Kubrick stated, "For the Greeks, the vast stretch of the sea must have had the same sort of mystery and remoteness that space has for our generation." The film was released 33 years prior to the title year, 2001, and 10 years after the founding of NASA. And 55 years later, we still are developing new ways of discovering what lies in the world beyond. For 2001: A Space Odyssey, Kubrick chose mostly classical music. Excerpts for the soundtrack of his film featured the most famous, of course, was Richard Strauss's Also sprach Zarathustra, the Sunrise Movement, or the Dawn. This composition, interestingly, was composed by Strauss in 1896 as a musical response to a treatise by the same name that had exposed a crisis in European thought between the rise of science and the demise of religion. The band chose this fanfare today as an introduction to all things this world, because the interest in space, research, and exploration has never been greater. So much so that in December 2019, the United States Space Force was established as the 6th branch of our armed forces. Every branch of the military, as you may know, has an official song, and John Philip Sousa's march, The Invincible Eagle, was chosen as the interim official song until Semper Supra was actually composed and unveiled in September 2022. Sousa composed The Invincible Eagle on a train ride from Buffalo to New York City in 1901. It is one of Sousa's personal favorites, and he believed it to be on par with the beloved Stars and Stripes Forever. What do you think? The fascination with the celestial sphere has existed for centuries. The themes of wishes and dreams permeate music, literature, films, and art, always with a quest for hope and good things. When You Wish Upon a Star was written in 1940 for the Disney animated film Pinocchio, winning the Academy Award that same year for Best Original Song. Here is Sammy Nestico's arrangement of When You Wish Upon a Star. welcome to the stage the arranger and conductor of our next selection, Mr. Jim Sheldrake. Written in 1954 by the cabaret pianist Bart Howard, this next song was titled In Other Words and was first recorded by Kay Ballard. The beautiful melody went through many cover versions by popular singers of the day. When Peggy Lee released the song and performed it on The Ed Sullivan Show, she convinced Howard to change the name. Recognize this tune? Fly Me to the Moon, this ever-popular love song. Beautiful. Over the next few years, recordings of this love song reached as high as #3 on the Billboard charts. It just couldn't make its way to #1 until Quincy Jones got a hold of it. Ladies and gentlemen, Donna Singer. Let's have another round of applause for our vocalist, Donna Singer. And our guest conductor and arranger, Jim Sheldrake. Swinging on a Star was written in 1944 for the film Going My Way, starring Bing Crosby. The inspiration came during a dinner at the Crosby home where songwriter Jimmy Van Heusen was a guest. One of Bing's sons, Gary, was complaining about having to go to school. His father's response was, "If you don't go to school, you may grow up to be a mule. And so the inspiration for the 1944 Academy Award-winning Best Original Song had occurred. Let's not be a mule or a pig or a fish. Instead, let's enjoy the different styles in Sammy Nestica's arrangement of Swinging on a Star. To go boldly where no man has gone before, or beam me up, Scotty, or rather, beam me up, Scotty, immediately evokes memories of the famous Star Trek TV series, which debuted in 1966. A film series reboot occurred in 2013, and Star Trek Into Darkness was the first and most successful of the sequels. This arrangement of highlights from Star Trek Into Darkness features the famous Star Trek theme, Enterprising Young Men, To Boldly Go, and Ode to Harrison. Beam us up, maestro! in our solar system have unique characteristics and follow their own orbits around the sun. The transit of Venus is when Venus passes directly between the sun and the Earth. It appears as a small black dot moving across the sun and usually lasts for several hours. These astronomical events occur every 243 years in a pattern of pairs, each 8 years apart. The last pair of transits occurred in June of 2004 and 2012. If you didn't experience the transit then, you will likely not ever, since the next ones will occur in 2117 and 2125. Sorry about that. John Philip Sousa wrote a march of the same name, Transit of Venus. In 1883, it was premiered at the unveiling of a statue of the late Joseph Henry, who had been the first secretary of the Smithsonian Institution and who, as past president of the National Academy of Sciences, had been responsible for the proper observation of the transit of Venus in 1874. We hope you will enjoy our version of the transit of Venus. The English composer Gustav Holst wrote the orchestral suite The Planets in 1914 through 1917. It consists of 7 movements, one for each of the planets in the solar system except for Earth and Pluto. I think Pluto's no longer a planet or something. It has become one of the most beloved compositions for orchestra and bands. Calvin Custer arranged this suite of Mars, Venus, and Jupiter for the concert band. The first movement is Mars, bringer of war. If you listen carefully, you can actually hear the battle between the different sections of the band. The second movement is a totally different tempo and style, as it is calming. Venus, the bringer of peace. Listen as the clashing dissonances become resolved in this tranquil movement. The suite concludes with Jupiter, the bringer of jollity, which is much lighter and jovial in nature. Please hold your applause between the movements. Thank you. Just as Pinocchio wished upon a star, and our vocalist, Donna Singer, along with many artists that preceded her, wanted to be flown to the moon, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz wanted to learn what life was like outside of Kansas, and again turned to the skies, this time to the rainbow. Over the Rainbow won the Oscar for Best Original Song in 1939 and is always a favorite of audiences as it continues that yearning for hope and wishes and dreams to come true. Before we play our final piece for today, it is my great pleasure to welcome our artistic director and conductor, Barbara Rubenstein, to say a few words. Let's hear it for Barbara Rubenstein.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for this intragalactic journey. We hope you enjoyed our musical exploration of the moon, the stars, the planets, and all things celestial. Hope you enjoyed it, yes? Let's have another round of applause for our amazing vocalist, Donna Singer, and for our arranger and guest conductor of Fly Me to the Moon, Mr. Jim Sheldon. Please join me in extending our sincere appreciation to everyone here at First Baptist Boynton for this beautiful venue in which to present our concert. Pastor Keith. Pastor Keith Baker, Michael Zuloff, and his staff. Also, a huge thank you to Casey Lynn Thulin and her helpers, Kathy Johnston and Brian Spence, for their work up in the booth with the video and audio. And special thanks to Bernie Raver in our trombone section for providing some of the actual space photography. We also extend our sincere appreciation to all the folks at the First Presbyterian Church of Boynton Beach, where we rehearse every Thursday evening. Pastor Emily Ash, Kathy McDevitt, the office administrator, and Willie Drayton, campus security, who is always there Thursday nights to take care of our needs when we rehearse. We thank them for all that they do for us. The band is supported in part by the city of Boynton Beach. We thank Mayor Ty Conserga for all his support, along with the Recreation and Parks Department Director Casey Young, the city commissioners, and the city manager. I want to acknowledge some very important people who work behind the scenes for us to be able to present these concerts for you. Please stand when I call your name. Our board of directors, their names are listed in the program, but all of you can stand, led by President Pat Trusella. Special thanks to our personnel director, Mary Wilkie, who is also responsible for our music distribution, programs, printing, and pretty much everything else that needs to be done. Special thanks to Bob Wilkie, Susan Mina, Jeff Henson, and all the volunteers who help us moving equipment. To our treasurer, Roger Spott, and his wife, Michelle, for ticket sales. And to Pat Valentine for handling the front of the house. Thank you. We appreciate all that you do for the band. We sincerely thank our recent individual donors who have assisted us in fulfilling our goals of performance, education, and outreach, including the purchase of new music for our performances. We also sincerely appreciate our business sponsors recognized in the program. Please refer to the information in your programs if you would like to participate in helping us continue to do what we love to do. Last, but certainly not least, let's have another huge round of applause for these amazing musicians sitting here on the stage, sharing their talents with you. And equally important are all of you, our loyal and appreciative audience. We hope to see you back here in October to help us kick off our 2023-24 season. In the meantime, check our website and stay tuned to what we are doing, www.goldcoastband.org for more information. Finally, please help me welcome back to the microphone our wonderful mistress of ceremonies who guided you through this space travel today, Ginny Marsh.
A concert of music that features all things space and beyond would not be complete without music from John Williams. This musical genius has been synonymous with film scores for the past 7 decades, with possibly his most recognized and well-known being the music of Star Wars, music of the Star Wars franchise. Williams has written over 70 film scores and has been nominated for 53 Academy Awards, the most recent being this year's nomination for the Best Original Score for The Fabelmans. He has won 5 Oscars along with 25 Grammys, and at the age of 91, he is the only person to be nominated for an Academy Award in 7 different decades. Jay Bacook's arrangement of Out of This World features the music of John Williams and includes the Star Wars main theme, Duel of the Fates, Space Camp main theme, and the theme from E.T. It's time to fasten your seatbelts one last time as the Gold Coast Band takes us out of this world. and on behalf of the Boynton Beach Gold Coast Band, we want to thank you for being such a wonderful audience. We love making music, but what we love even more is sharing our music with you. And on that note, what better way to end an afternoon than with John Philip Sousa's fabulously uplifting Stars and Stripes Forever to send you home. Drive home safely, and we hope to see you right back here in the same seats in the fall. Thank you.